Marlia, have you ever wondered how is it like being Asian in Iceland? Today I'm gonna be talking about my experience integrating into the culture and to the society of the Icelandic people. What were the challenges I faced in terms of language, the culture, how is the Asian food scene, are there any Asian communities, are there any similarities between Asians and Icelandic people? Are Icelanders racist to Asians? So if you wanna know more about being Asian in Iceland, then stay tuned and watch until the end of the video. So my experience integrating into the Icelandic culture was a bumpy ride. It wasn't like easy, but it wasn't as difficult as well. So Iceland is known as the land of fire and ice because of its geological features. But you might not know that in Iceland there's a strong food culture. There's the haukart, fermented shark. To eat it and then drink brennivin, which is like a Icelandic vodka. They eat sheep heads and many more. But before I came here, I actually did not like lamb, or I don't like goat meat. I would usually go to the Asian store and buy Asian food. I would always want to eat rice. I would always want to eat pancit, whatever Filipino food I could find. But now I've started to like look for lamb. Like whenever they eat lamb, I eat lamb. I tried eating whale. It tastes like beef. So what were the challenges I had since I came to Iceland? So the first one is the language. So the language in the Philippines and the language in Iceland is very much different. Like in Iceland they have genders for their words, while in the Philippines we don't use genders. So when I came here it was like a shock. Why do you call he, it, she in like the words? I had to go to Icelandic school. Honestly, even if you finish those, if you don't go out and like try to talk to people, in my opinion, it's very important to learn the language in order for you to fully immerse yourself into the Icelandic culture. So one also of the challenges that I faced was the Asian food scene. If you're from Thailand, Vietnam, Chinese, there are a lot of restaurants all around Reykjavik, even outside of Reykjavik. But if you're like from the Philippines, there is no restaurant for the Filipino people. My problem was I had to cook the food that I was craving, or just go to the Chinese restaurants because there's a bit of similarities. There are a lot of Asian communities here. There is also page on Facebook where Asian people trade products, like selling products. There are a lot of Asian communities in Iceland. I see Thai people, Indian people, every Asian nationalities, they have yearly feast with dancing, eating food. There is a big community of Asian here. So if you plan to come here as an Asian, then it wouldn't be so hard for you to find a friend. So are there any similarities between Asians and Icelandic people? One I observe is that Icelandic people are very family oriented. So during the weekends, it's very important for them to like be together, have a dinner together, because Icelandic people are usually just like busy the whole weekdays, and the weekend is like very important for them to free their time and have more time with the family. So that's one thing that's like very similar to the Asian community. So here is an Icelandic person with me, and my question is, how do you perceive Asians?
Good question. Word to describe it. Interesting culture, food, interesting countries, so many variation.
Okay, what advice can you give to Asians considering moving to Iceland?
Prepare for probably none of your food.
Yeah.
Also, it's really cold.
Yeah, it's really cold. I came from a tropical country, and when I came here, it was difficult to adjust. Do you have more advice?
The sun. You're gonna miss it.
So basically, before coming here, maybe they just stay outside, have a sunbathing outside before they come here. Because for sure they're gonna miss it, right? So are Icelanders racist to Asians? Based from my experience, so there are basically different types of racism. I never really experienced like a direct racism. My experience is that one time I was walking in town and somebody said, "Sawadee ka, I'm not from Thailand." Like, I might look like a Thai person, but like saying that without actually knowing where the person is basically like a bit annoying. I don't know if you would perceive that as racism, but it could be lack of knowledge. They might know that Asia is only Thailand or China, and they don't know basically that Asian continent is very wide. I also experienced experienced it. I was in a store and somebody said, Namaste. To me, do I look like? It's better to just ask first. So Icelandic people, they might not be directly racist, but they are maybe kind of racist in some way. They might just need a little bit more knowledge. I'm not talking about all Icelanders, but like some Icelandic people just don't have enough knowledge of what Asian people look like or what are the countries consist of Asian continent. So I have a TikTok account, right? Some Icelandic people would comment there, your color is dark. But you know, these are just trolls. They don't even have a profile picture. They don't even post videos. Overall, the culture in Iceland is very rich. Might be different from my culture, but I learned to love it after almost 7 years of living here.